Love her. Yeah, she'll be missed. Anybody else in a relationship that's abusive or scared to speak out, or whatever the case may be, man, the best thing to do is tell somebody.
A brave family has come forward to share the story of their loved one to help another. The woman who was found shot in her backyard has been identified by her family as Allison Marie. Her brother told the local news he was notified Allison was in trouble after receiving a phone call from his niece, but when he arrived, it was too late. Allison Marie was 41 years old and lived in San Antonio, Texas. According to her friends and family, Allison lived a warm life filled with laughter and adventures. She enjoyed traveling, playing spades and poker, Halloween, and spending quality time with her family, friends, and dog Bruno. Anyone who knew Allison would know her passion for singing and her ability to light up any room when she sang karaoke. Allison was also a mother that showed great care and compassion toward her children. She was devoted, adoring, and inspirational to her teen boy and girl, according to reports. Allison's brother also told the news his sister had been divorced from her ex-husband, 42-year-old Ronald Cole Jr. They didn't share any details regarding the nature of their marriage or why it later ended in divorce. They only shared that Allison took the steps to leave. According to family members, Allison and Ronald had been separated for some time and they were no longer romantically involved. She was focused on herself and helping her two beautiful children prepare to enter their next phase in life. Sadly, on September 18, 2022, this all changed. According to Allison's brother, there was a dispute at her residence and his niece asked him to come immediately. But as soon as her brother arrived to the scene, unfortunately, it was too late.
My niece called me and said there was a commotion at the house and I needed to see what was going on, so I drove over and no one was at the house. I came over to see if there was any tape, like if there was another crime scene, because I've heard that he did something to himself.
Tonight, a man is dead after shooting and killing a woman, then turning the gun on himself. Family members tell us the victim was his ex-wife.
Yeah, the Bexar County Sheriff's Office SWAT team spent hours convincing the man inside to turn himself in.
According to the Sheriff's Office, deputies responded to an incident on Saturday afternoon. When deputies arrived, they went inside and found 41-year-old Allison Marie Cole in the backyard of the residence, deceased from an apparent wound to the head. According to the sheriff, videos from the neighbors showed a portion of the violence, leading to an idea of who the suspect was, her ex-husband.
Initially, when deputies made entry to the residence, they were not able to make contact, but then they soon discovered the body of a female, believed to be a 41-year-old female in the backyard, apparently deceased. They were able to develop information fairly quickly on a possible suspect, 42-year-old male that had been involved in a romantic relationship with that 41-year-old victim. I don't know if they were married or just together in a relationship, but at any rate, that was in the process of ending. They were living separately. She was living at that other residence on the east side, and he was living in this residence here. And initially, we received information that there was a shooting there at that location, so that's where we initially dispatched deputies. Once they found her deceased, we were able to determine pretty quickly that this suspect was the one involved and he was living back here at the house.
Deputies were also able to get a description of his vehicle with the help of her neighbors in such a short time. This led to a standoff at Ronald's residence.
Obtained some video from some neighbors showing the suspect committing at least part of the attack. Several gunshots that were heard on this video. And the suspect then made his escape, and we were able to get a vehicle description. We knew who the suspect was and his residence, and so surveillance units came to this location here. We were able to spot the suspect vehicle in the driveway, and so we stayed around, established stationary surveillance on the residence, and waited for the SWAT team.
The SWAT team arrived at his residence, attempting to communicate for hours with him through speakers, but with no progress. Once they were able to get an arrest warrant issued for Ronald, the SWAT team entered the suspect's residence through the garage. However, once they released a robot camera into the residence, it appeared that Ronald Cole Jr. was already deceased from a self-inflicted wound in his living room.
Probably about 2 hours, we attempted to establish communications with him through loudspeakers, and we did not receive any indications whatsoever that he was going to cooperate with us, going to communicate with us. And so as long as it took us to get the robot here and the arrest warrant signed is when we were able to go ahead and get the robot introduced into the residence.
As of today, investigators shared that further details were limited and the motive is still unclear. During the sheriff's press conference, he described this incident as a pretty heartbreaking scene.
But understandably, we've got a pretty heartbreaking scene, believed to be a domestic-related murder that resulted in the death of a young woman, only 41 years of age. And so I'm sure everybody would understand the severity of it and how we need to handle this investigation by the numbers.
Friends, family, and neighbors are hurt severely about this tragedy. Allison's cousin, Theo, even pleading to thousands about leaving or speaking out in these situations.
We love her. Yeah, she'll be missed. Anybody else in a relationship that's abusive or scared to speak out or, whatever the case may be, man, the best thing to do is tell somebody.
Just to know that her daughter had to make that phone call. Let's please keep her children in our thoughts and prayers at this time, especially her friends and family. It's unfortunate that in these situations, families and friends are unable to get the answers that they need. So please listen to the advice that her family gave in regards to these situations. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let's please respect the victim and the family in the comments. I love you guys dearly. And with that being said, don't forget to check on your loved ones.